The Star Wars galaxy is extremely vast and has several different regions. The Outer Rim obviously comes to mind, where most of our adventures take place, with planets like Tatooine and Endor being located in it. However, there's also far more niche regions like the Deep Core at the center of the galaxy, the Hutspace regions, and the recently popularized Unknown regions, where writers have taken the liberty to make up any new factions through it. I'll take you through each section in the galaxy and give you a detailed analysis of each one, starting at the center of the galaxy and moving outward. Brightly lit and located at the heart of the galaxy, the Deep Core was also referred to as the core of the galaxy or the Deep Galactic Core. It was home to 30 billion of the galaxy's oldest stars. This region was sparsely populated, and at its center lay a massive black hole surrounded by antimatter. Positioned close to the core worlds, the region was noted for its exceptional strategic value. However, it was largely inaccessible due to the intense gravitational pull of its numerous stars and the high concentration of dark matter. As a result, hyperspace travel in this region was extremely difficult. Despite its inaccessibility and the prevalence of dark matter, the Deep Core contained several important city worlds, including Troith, Empress Teta, and Biss. Over time, certain individuals discovered safe hyperlanes that allowed access to the region, such as the Biss Run and the Deep Core Run. Considered a rival to the cosmopolitan jewel of the Galactic Republic, Troith was an ecumenopolis. However, it was excluded from the Republic's expansion, which led to its decline as an industrial powerhouse. According to some Jedi scholars, the first Jedi Temple was located within the Deep Core. By the way, to celebrate Maul Shadow Lord, we're having a special discount on all sabers associated with Darth Maul, be it his double-bladed one or the Darksaber. Get yours now for 40% off and use the code MAUL in the description below. Between 35,000 BBY and 25,200 BBY, the Rakatan Infinite Empire colonized Biss. Following their collapse, the planet was abandoned, and much of their infrastructure gradually fell into ruin. The Rakatan Empire later resurfaced on Tython around 25,793 BBY, but they were eventually defeated by followers of Ashla, who later evolved into the Jedi Order. During the Clone Wars, the mining guild stronghold of Empress Teta supported the Separatist forces, and Troith was invaded by them. Darth Sidious also provided the Separatists with scouts and probe droids to explore the Deep Core. With the rise of the Empire, Troith pledged its support, and the Empire established control over part of the region known as the Deep Core Security Zone. Following the Battle of Yavin, Luke Skywalker and Nakari Kellen traveled to the Deep Core moon of Fex to investigate a biological research ship. In a bid to conceal the true location of the Rebel Alliance base on Hoth, Dr. Chelilona Afra misled Darth Vader to Tython's meridional ice cap. This region bordered the Deep Core and was sometimes referred to as the Core Territories or the Coruscant Core. It contains some of the most well-known, densely populated, and wealthiest planets in the galaxy. Subregions such as the Southern Core, the Negs, the Arrowhead, and the Northern Dependencies were all located within or around the core worlds. As a wealthy and distinct section of the galaxy, planets in this region became major hubs for finance, education, technology, and fashion. These developments were further supported by major hyperspace routes, which contributed to the region's prominence. Considered the region from which humans originated, the core worlds included planets in the Corellian system, with such as Corellia, Dral, Talus, Tralus, and Salonia. Long before the formation of the Galactic Republic, the Celestials used the massive Centerpoint Station to draw these 5 planets into the system. Between 17,000 BBY and 3017 BBY, 17 Alsican conflicts occurred, as Alsicans sought to wrest control of the Republic from Coruscant. Coruscant, an ecumenopolis within this region, was widely regarded as the homeworld of humanity. With the many influential planets found here, the core world served as the seat of galactic power, with Coruscant acting as the galactic capital even during the reign of the Galactic Empire. The people of the core worlds were often perceived as elitist, and their accents were highly distinct. As the region became overpopulated prior to the Clone Wars, many poorer citizens migrated to the Outer Rim territories in search of better opportunities. The Nexus route was a key hyperspace corridor contested by both Republic and Separatist forces, each seeking exclusive control. Jedi Master Anakin Skywalker feared that the Separatists would use the route to gain access to Coruscant, bypass its defenses, and attack its citizens. In 19 BBY, this fear came to pass when the Separatists attempted to use the route to capture Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, an event that ultimately led to Count Dooku's death. Following the rise of the Galactic Empire, Coruscant became home to some of the most prestigious institutions in the Imperial Academy network, including campuses such as the Royal Imperial Academy and the Korrilag Military Academy. During the reign of the New Republic, the core worlds were largely peaceful. However, Hosnian Prime experienced outbreaks of violence, including incidents such as the napkin bombing and the assassination of Senator Tylan Gar. Within the galaxy, this region bordered the Outer Rim territories. It had been long settled and was generally oriented toward outward expansion. The planets within the region lay north of Coruscant and the Perlemian trade route, which ran along the galactic plane, extending only into the far reaches of the Inner Rim. The region included Inner Rim worlds such as Bogdan, Bilbringi, and Karatos, located along the Namadi Corridor. These worlds were also situated along the Hydian Way. At the western boundary of this region lay an area known as the Negs. West of the galaxy, the Negs were a region that remained unexplored for tens of thousands of years. This was largely due to the absence of major hyperspace routes such as the Hydian Way. Planets in this region were viewed as second class, and based on their position, they were assigned negative east-west coordinate values. A sector within the region was the Farlax sector. It was situated along the core worlds and lay very close to the border of the Deep Core. Following the Battle of Endor, the sector remained unexplored by New Republic surveyors after the departure of the Galactic Empire's Black Sword Command. The Farlax sector, along with the neighboring Hatawa sector, contained over 200 inhabited worlds, a third of which were affiliated with the New Republic. Another third of these worlds were uninhabited. The Farlax sector also contained the Kornacht cluster, which overlapped both the Farlax and Hatawa sectors. The Kornacht cluster was a large luminous disk of blazing stars and interstellar gas located within the Farlax sector. This region was located within the core of the galaxy. It was also referred to as the Inner Core and was situated at the tip of the Slice, another division of the galaxy. Many core worlds were found in this region, ranging from Vento to Corellia. Other systems located between the Perlemian trade route and the Corellian run were also part of the Arrowhead. Tetrahedron was an ancient term used by the Republic to describe the Arrowhead. All foundling worlds were located within it, and it was given this name because a Duros hyperspatial physicist believed that the planets Alderaan, Corellia, Coruscant, and Gen Jump formed the four vertices of a perfect geometric pyramid. This region was an extension of the Arrowhead within the core and colonies. Some of the planets in this region included Balasar and Fondor, as well as Herglick Space. Found between the core worlds and the Inner Rim, the Colonies were a region consisting of several planets known for their industrial advancements. These worlds were also renowned for their thriving trade hubs and vast garden landscapes. Some notable examples include Uquine, Abednedo, and Karita. Due to their access to major hyperspace routes, they became centers for education, finance, and technology, producing not only food but also droids, starships, and other military hardware. The colonies contain multiple sectors, such as the Tapani sector, Kilbanis sector, Varvena sector, and Fakir sector, among others. Originally colonized by the core worlds, the formation of the Galactic Republic helped reduce conflicts between these worlds and their colonizers, from whom they later gained independence. This period also led to the development of major hyperspace routes such as the Corellian Run and the Perlemian Trade Route, which contributed to the rise of the new worlds in the region, including Yabal Opa, Rythal, and the shipyard base of Lorinar. Around 22,000 BBY, the Duros of Neimoidia established the Purse Worlds, one of which was Kato Neimoidia. During the conflict between the Republic and the Separatist forces, Cad Bane attacked a Republic outpost on Deveron, a Colonies world, and captured Jedi Master Gola Rapal. Although a rescue team was assembled, Rapal was ultimately killed, and Bane escaped with a holocron stolen from the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, along with a Kyber memory crystal. In 20 BBY, Deveron was again targeted by the Separatist ally Savage Opress, the apprentice of Count Dooku. While on a mission to test his abilities, as ordered by his master, he killed Jedi Master Halsey, Halsey's Padawan, and several clone troopers. During the reign of the Galactic Empire, Emperor Palpatine tightened control over the colonies and implemented policies targeting species and worlds that had supported the Separatists in any capacity. Going rimward, the first region of the Rims was the Inner Rim, lying between the colonies and the Expansion region. It was originally referred to simply as the Rim when it was first discovered during the expansionist era of the Galactic Republic. At the time, it was believed to be the farthest known region of the galaxy during the Great Manifest period. This belief led to the establishment of the Expansion region and further movement into the Slice, a period spanning roughly 20,000 BBY to 17,018 BBY. Notably, planets in this region included Dinon, Pashur, Ariel, Litoran, Bastatha, Biren, Gorse and its moon Cinda, as well as Jakku. Inhabitants of the core worlds and the colonies often looked down on those from the Inner Rim. During the Clone Wars, many planets in the region supported the Separatist cause. However, in 20 BBY, the Galactic Republic dispatched a team led by Jedi Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi to train a resistance movement on Onderon against King Sanjay Rash, who was backed by Separatist forces during the Onderonian Civil War. The mission was successful, and Ramses Dindup was reinstated as king. Years before the Battle of Yavin, the Inner Rim planet Jakku became a place of special interest to Darth Sidious. He visited the planet with his advisor Yup Tashu to oversee an archaeological excavation in search of a valuable artifact. During this visit, Sidious discovered a local slave named Gallius Rax, whom he sensed had great potential. During the reign of the Galactic Empire, Rax would later rise to the rank of Fleet Admiral. Under the Empire, many recruits were drawn from Inner Rim worlds as prospective Imperial cadets. Located between the Inner Rim and the Mid-Rim, the Expansion region, also known as the Expanded Rim, contained numerous systems including the Kavaitine and Sumitra star systems. Notable planets in the region included Aquarius, Thustra, Sabensko, and Kirkoidia. The Ghost Nebula sector, along with the Umbara system, was also situated within the Expansion region. The region was also home to Togruta space, which included the Shili system and the planet Shili. It was governed by the Togruta species, who initially resisted the expansion of the Galactic Republic. Although the conflict between the Togruta and the Republic eventually came to an end, tensions between them persisted for over a century. During the Galactic Republic's Great Manifest period, the Expansion region became an experiment in corporate-controlled worlds. In their search for untapped, resource-rich systems, galactic powers such as Alsakan and Coruscant sponsored exploration and settlement in what would become the Expansion region. Competition between these two powers led to the first Alsakan conflict around 17,000 BBY. The Corellian run remained largely unaffected due to the presence of Corellian military forces, which helped secure the route and encouraged further colonization along its western reaches. The western portion of the region developed into a mix of prosperous agrarian, industrial, and trade-based worlds known as the Trailing Sectors. The growing prosperity of this area provided Coruscant with the resources needed to expand colonization efforts into the Mid-Rim. During the Clone Wars, the Expansion region became a battleground between Republic and Separatist forces due to its strategic position between the Inner Rim and Mid-Rim. The Mud Jumpers of the 224th Division of the Grand Army of the Republic fought Separatist forces on the planet Mimban. Similarly, Umbara became the site of prolonged conflict, as its inhabitants supported the Separatist cause and resisted the Republic. It was also on Umbara that the treason of Jedi Master Pong Krell was revealed. In 1 BBY, Cassian Andor, an intelligence officer of the Rebel Alliance, visited a trading post in the Expansion region known as the Ring of Kafrene. His mission was to investigate Imperial shipments of Kyber crystals and uncover the reason behind their distribution across the galaxy. There, he met the rebel informant Tivik, who revealed that an Imperial pilot named Bodhi Rook had defected with information about a planet-destroying superweapon. Following a confrontation with stormtroopers, Andor was forced to kill Tivik to avoid capture. Located just north of the northern dependencies and the Hydian Way, the New Territories remained an underdeveloped region for millennia. Only a few worlds, such as Iridonia and Ithor, experienced significant development. The region's progress was hindered by the atrocities of the Khans Disorders and the failed Outer Expansion Zone initiative. It bordered the unknown regions to the west, the interior to the south, and the slice to the east. During the reign of the Galactic Republic, the region began to advance in development. A prominent family known as the Diasta family rose to influence, possessing one of the largest private fleets in the galaxy. The Diasta merchants from Sereno amassed great wealth by establishing trade markets along the Braxant Run. Similarly, Nalroni merchants expanded commerce beyond the Selenon Spur. As a result of these developments, Coruscant officially designated the area as the New Territories and heavily invested in its growth. This fostered strong loyalty among its inhabitants to the Republic and later to the Galactic Empire during the Galactic Civil War. Around the time of the Clone Wars, the territory of the Confederacy of Independent Systems extended from the New Territories into Hutspace. Also known as the Trans-Hydian region, the Trans-Hydian Borderlands were home to numerous neural star systems. The region contained many planets with long-standing heritages and lineages and was located north of the Perlimian trade route. Burdened by anomalies such as the Radama Void, an area of space surrounding the planet Ord Radama, as well as threats of Mandalorian and Sith invasions, the region experienced little economic development until the expansion of the Hydian Way. The Trans-Hydian region was also referred to as the Borderlands due to its divided loyalties between the Rebel Alliance and the remnants of the Galactic Empire. Ord Mantell, a terrestrial planet within the region, was established to provide settlers and investors with protection from these numerous threats. Other notable planets and systems in the region included the Obroa Sky System, the Listahal Run, the Briago System, Elam, and Hetsk. Some of its sectors included Lokris and Farsti, which were also associated with the Expansion region, as well as Euchre and Perkle, which bordered the Mid-Rim. Stretching from the core worlds through the Colonies, the Inner Rim, the Expansion region, the Mid-Rim, Hutspace, and into the Outer Rim and Wild Space, the Slice was a wedge-shaped region of the galaxy. Notable planets within this region included Klaatuine, Essels, Centauris, Antar, Alderaan, and Ord, among others. The region bordered the interior to the west, the New Territories to the north, and the trailing sectors to the south. At the tip of the slice lay the Arrowhead, and the region itself was situated between the Perlimian trade route and the Corellian Run. Following the establishment of these major hyperspace routes, systems within the slice experienced increased development as colonists traveled along these routes in search of habitable worlds. Piracy was widespread during the Republic era, prompting several corporations to relocate elsewhere. Despite intervention by the Jedi, instability continued to rise. The Slice eventually became a haven for pirate groups such as the Poisoned Blades, the Riftwalkers, the Staved Skulls, the Filthy Credits, and Vile. Along the northern edge of the Slice, Revan and Malak launched a major campaign in an effort to divide the Republic and weaken its defenses. The Mid-Rim, also known as the Mid-Rim Territories, was located between the Expansion region and the Outer Rim Territories. It comprised worlds with relatively stable governments and thriving economies. Planets such as Koyurti, Krul, Denzo, Malastare, Natur, Naboo, and Kashyyyk were all part of the Mid-Rim. This region overlapped with the Western Reaches and generally had a smaller population and fewer natural resources compared to the core regions. Despite this, many inhabitants established prosperous lives through hard work. Pirates often used its more remote and unexplored areas far from major trade routes as hiding places, while several worlds developed highly successful economies. Long before the Galactic Republic, the Wookiees of Kashyyyk were subjugated by the infinite empire of the Rakata. The Rakata terraformed the planet for agricultural purposes, but after the collapse of their empire, the machines were left unattended, causing Kashyyyk's vegetation to grow to enormous proportions. Compared to the Outer Rim territories, the Mid-Rim experienced less criminal activity, largely due to the stronger presence of centralized government from Coruscant. Although Hutspace bordered its eastern fringes, the region remained relatively stable. Around 1800 BBY, during the New Sith Wars, Kashyyyk and Trandosha were invaded by the Brotherhood of Darkness. Although the Trandoshans inflicted heavy losses on their attackers, their own settlements were devastated in retaliation by the Sith. The lush world of Ruusan, also located in the Mid-Rim, became the site of 7 major battles that ultimately led to the destruction of the Brotherhood of Darkness. During the tenure of Supreme Chancellor Valorum in 32 BBY, increased taxation on Outer Rim trade routes prompted the Trade Federation to blockade and occupy Naboo. Queen Padme Amidala later regained control of the planet during the Naboo Crisis with the help of the Gungans and the Jedi. Around the same time, Trandoshan extremists attempted to assassinate the Wookiee Senator Yarua while demanding that their homeworld be independently represented in the Senate rather than through Kashyyyk. Tensions between the Wookiees and Trandoshans escalated further when it became clear that the Trandoshans were seeking representation with the backing of the Trade Federation. With the outbreak of the Clone Wars, Separatist forces exploited this interspecies rivalry by arming Trandoshan raiders to attack Republic shipping. This alliance led to a coordinated assault on Kashyyyk, which was ultimately repelled by Republic forces. Around the same period, the Chiss mercenary Severance Tan raided a Wookiee colony on Alaris Prime. Malastare was also targeted by Separatist forces due to its valuable fuel reserves, but the attack was repelled by local Dug forces and Republic troops under the command of Jedi General Anakin Skywalker, during which the Zillo Beast was accidentally awakened. Toward the end of the Clone Wars, Kashyyyk became the site where Jedi Master Yoda was betrayed by clone troopers during the execution of Order 66. Following this, Imperial forces occupied the planet, enslaving the Wookiees with the support of the Trandoshans. During the reign of the Galactic Empire, the Min-Rim remained a significant power base, housing numerous hidden Imperial installations and makeshift shipyards. It also became a region where rival Moffs maintained semi-autonomous domains, provided they continued to supply troops and resources to the Imperial war effort. Located between the Mid-Rim and the Outer Rim territories, the autonomous Hutspace lay to the east of the Core Worlds and was ruled by the Hutt clan. The Hutt clan, also known as the Hutt Cartel, was an ancient and powerful crime syndicate that maintained its power and wealth through fear and intimidation. Hutspace served as their domain, although the species originally hailed from the planet Varl. In ancient times, the Hutts were an aggressive and expansionist warrior species, invading outlying worlds and enslaving or exterminating other species during the pre-Republic era. Systems within the region included Doran and Toydaria, while notable planets included Sircon, Toydaria, Dandoran, and Nalhutta. For nearly 2 centuries, the Hutts were among the most powerful governing forces in the galaxy until they were challenged by the Taiwanese warlord Jim. However, they ultimately defeated Jim and his forces. During the Clone Wars, the Hutts maintained an official stance of neutrality, but covertly played both the Republic and the Separatists against one another. They later permitted Republic forces to pass through the Arcanis sector after Rado was rescued and returned to Jabba on Tatooine. During the reign of the Galactic Empire, Hutspace largely retained its autonomy. However, Imperial manufacturing facilities were established in various locations throughout the region, and the Empire used its military presence as leverage in its dealings with the Hutts. Located within the Outer Rim territories, the Sith Worlds were a region of the Stygian caldera that included the planet Moraband and the Ziost system. This region served as the heart of the ancient Sith Empire. The Sith homeworld Korriban was also located here, along with more than 120 habitable worlds. Other known planets in the region included Cardelba, Ziost, Droman Kas, Droman Kalikar, and Ashas Re. Located in a remote and largely empty area of space, the Void of Chopani lay within the Outer Rim's Chopani sector. At the end of the Clone Wars, remnants of the intergalactic banking clan fled from Imperial forces by crossing this region. A scout for the Commerce Guild named Tibbs Osby piloted a Vanguard Pathfinder and discovered the planet Vandor while traveling away from the Void of Chopani. The trailing sectors comprised planets such as Dakar, Naboo, and Crate. The region was located in the southern portion of the galaxy and bordered the western reaches to the west, the interior to the north, and the Slice to the east. It was also situated west of the Corellian Run, from which it derived its name, as it effectively trailed the Slice region. Throughout the region, Republic traders conducted business with species such as the Grands, Tynans, and the Herglics. The western reaches, also known as the Western Regions, lay beyond the Rimma trade route and west of the trailing sectors. They overlapped with several other areas of the galaxy within the Outer Rim and Mid-Rim territories. The regions expanded outward from the southern core and the trailing sectors as the Corellian trade spine and Hydian Way also developed. Being distant from Coruscant, the people of the western regions developed a strong sense of independence, which contributed to the area becoming a center of rebellion and secret experimentation during the Galactic Civil War. At the end of the Clone Wars, the Galactic Empire made the western regions the site of campaigns against separatist holdouts that continued into the 4th year of its reign. A notable figure in these campaigns was Moff Wilhuff Tarkin, who sought to avoid media scrutiny over his involvement in the Antar atrocity. Sparsely populated and located beyond the Mid-Rim, the Outer Rim was a region that lay before Wild Space and the Unknown Regions. Also known as the Outer Rim Territories, it was recognized as the largest region in the galaxy. During the High Republic era, the Outer Rim was dangerous and difficult to navigate. Long before this era, tensions between the Republic and the Jedi over the warrior culture of the Outer Rim world of Mandalore led to a destructive battle in which the Darksaber was stolen from the Jedi Temple. Many other worlds in this region were home to smugglers, slavers, pirates, and other criminal elements. Hutspace, situated between the Mid-Rim and Outer Rim, was particularly notorious for harboring organized crime. The region also contained rugged, frontier, and primitive planets. As the Galactic Republic expanded during the High Republic era, it faced threats such as the Nile Marauders and the Dringer Crisis. Economic and social inequalities between the wealthier core worlds and the poorer Outer Rim territories fueled resentment among Outworlders, contributing to major conflicts such as the Clone Wars. Before the Clone Wars, many Outer Rim inhabitants felt they were victims of economic and social injustice. One contributing factor was that judicial authorities were often restricted from intervening in the Outer Rim, especially when distant worlds refused to offer profitable deals to the core worlds. This prompted the Outer Rim world of Ariadu to establish the Outland Region Security Force, recognizing the need for protection against pirate raids and the lack of Republic military presence. From the pre-Republic era through the time preceding the Clone Wars, the ongoing Sith conflicts extended into the Outer Rim territories, as the Republic continuously fought various Sith factions across the galaxy. Many Outer Rim inhabitants felt exploited by the core worlds, and some were even recruited into Sith military forces during these conflicts. Although these wars eventually ended and the Outer Rim recovered, the region remained remote and largely undeveloped in the eyes of the core-based governments. On the Outer Rim world of Dathomir, the fallen Jedi Knight Alaya was exiled, where she founded the Force-sensitive cult known as the Witches of Dathomir. On the desert world of Tatooine, Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn discovered the highly Force-sensitive Anakin Skywalker. During the Clone Wars, several Outer Rim planets, including Geonosis, Jabiim, Moonalist, and Sullust, supported the Separatist cause by providing labor and resources. Towards the end of the war, Separatist forces were driven from the core worlds and colonies into the Mid and Outer Rims. During the reign of the Galactic Empire, the Outer Rim became a stronghold for supporters of the Rebel Alliance. By 2 BBY, most remaining Separatist holdouts in the Outer Rim had joined the newly formed alliance to restore the Republic. After the defeat of Palpatine and Darth Vader at Endor, Rimward worlds, including those in the Outer Rim, formally aligned with the newly established New Republic. Unknown Space, also known as the Unknown Territories, or the Great Unknown, the Outer Reaches, or the Unknown Regions, was a region located far beyond the Outer Rim. It was the source of countless tales and wonders among space travelers. Compared to Wild Space, it had been somewhat explored, but it never considered Coruscant a major or primary center of civilization and was therefore never part of the Galactic Republic. Many areas within the region were also unconnected to well-known hyperspace routes. Inhabitants of the Unknown Regions referred to it as Chaos, while the rest of the galaxy was called Lesser Space. The name Chaos reflected the region's black holes, gravity wells, supernovae, and other strange phenomena and hazards. Standard navigation computers were ineffective in this region, so residents relied on Force-sensitive navigators, individuals with exceptional precognition skills. According to a hypothesis by a renowned scientist, a massive dark matter intersected the galaxy in this region, causing the gravitational anomalies that made navigation so difficult. Various governments, under strict confidentiality agreements, hired Force-sensitive individuals from the Navigators Guild to safely traverse the unknown regions. The Chiss Ascendancy, an aristocratic oligarchic nation of near-human Chiss, also employed Force-sensitive Chiss children, mostly female, as navigators. These individuals were called Ozili Esahimbo, Chun for Skywalker. Only the most determined travelers could navigate the unknown regions. Corellian traders successfully maintained contact with the Chiss for many years. The planet Ilum, located in this region, was frequently visited by Force wielders to obtain crystals for their lightsabers. During the climax of the Jedi Civil War, the Rakata homeworld of Lehan was reached by a Republic naval task force and designated as a protected historical site. Even traders and transporters from this region occasionally visited frontier spaceport worlds such as Terminus. During the Galactic Civil War, Grand Admiral Thrawn, a native of the unknown regions, was dispatched aboard the Imperial-class Star Destroyer Admonitor to explore and bring various sectors under Imperial rule. In the New Republic era, Sabine Wren and Ahsoka Tano traveled into the unknown regions in search of Ezra Bridger, who, along with Grand Admiral Thrawn and his crew of the Chimera, had gone missing during the liberation of Lothal. Unlike other regions, Wild Space, also called the Fringes, consisted of uncharted planets and star clusters. It lay essentially off the edge of the galactic map, appearing almost nowhere in galactic records throughout history. Unlike the unknown regions, which were unexplored but clearly mapped, Wild Space was largely unmapped and mysterious. Notable planets in this region included Mulita, Teth, Kali, Huk, Thun, Pion, Lyrasan, and the enigmatic realm of Mortis. Worlds in Wild Space were considered dangerous, and humans from the core worlds often expressed prejudice against the sentient species that inhabited them. When conflict erupted between the Galactic Republic and Separatist forces, exploration of Wild Space was significantly reduced. The mysterious planet Mortis, located within Wild Space, was home to a family of Force sensitives. Their planet, referred to as the Realm, existed outside normal time and space. The family consisted of the father, the daughter, and the son. The father represented the balance of the Force, the daughter embodied the light side, and the son embodied the dark side. When Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Ahsoka Tano arrived on Mortis, the three Force wielders attempted to convince Anakin to fulfill his role as the Chosen One as foretold by prophecy. However, the son, corrupted by the dark side, disrupted their plan. In 3 BBY, Garazeb, Zeb Aurelios, and his rebel teammates, the Spectres, set out on a mission along with Lasat refugees Chava the Wise and Gron to find the legendary Lasat Sanctuary of Lyrasan within Wild Space. Their mission drew pursuit from Imperial forces, and they had to navigate through a collapsed star cluster, the only known path to their destination. Using his bow rifle, Aurelios guided the rebel starship Ghost through the maelstrom. The mission was ultimately successful, and Chava and Gron settled on Lyrasan, the original homeworld of the Lasat. Well, the General has been making additions to his collection for several years now, and if you're anything like me, you've probably imagined what it could be like to own a saber yourself. So that's why I started my own store called Stickman Sabers, with a singular goal in mind. Make sabers that look amazing, being inspired by iconic designs but specifically built to actually duel with. No worrying about babying them, just pick them up and go ham. They're equipped with state-of-the-art pixel technology, giving off an incredibly bright light that will light up the darkest rooms out there. And obviously have that iconic hum, just feels right the moment you switch it on. And for a limited time, if you pick a collector's saber up, you'll also get 2 combat sabers for free. If you've ever thought about starting your own collection, this is a pretty good place to start. If that sounds like something you'd want to look into, the link's in the description.